What do you think the answer would be? Any ideas?
18y to the 8.
Good. You multiply the 6 and the 3 together. Constants we're going to multiply together like normal. And then for the exponents, you're going to make it y. You're going to add those together. So that's how you're going to do for that one. It's 18y to the 8. All right, what's the second one? Okay. All right, on the second one. 3 mn squared times 9 m squared n. Multiply the coefficients in front together. Okay, so 3 times 9 is 27. M times m squared. All right. Sam, what's that going to be? Or what's the rest of it going to be? What do you think?
Would it be 3m? Or no, I meant m to the third and then n to the second.
All right, you got m to the third. Why wouldn't it be n to the third?
Oh, I meant that.
That's what you meant? Gotcha. All right, so 3 times 9 is 27. M times m squared is m cubed. N squared times n is n to the third. So they're both the same. Okay? Joe, does that make sense? All right, good. All right, now you got 3 things in the third one. 3 things. So how many numbers or what numbers am I multiplying together? Press it. Which ones do I multiply together?
You multiply all the like terms together?
Oh yeah, we don't have, technically like terms would be, and I think you're getting a little bit mixed up. Like terms would be something like 6x and 7x. Like they'd have the exact same variable. You're just talking about what part of each term would we multiply together. Like here I multiplied the 3 and the 9 together.
Like all the x's with the x's and stuff.
Yes, we would do that, but you're missing my point, which is okay. What, great.
Multiply 2, 5.5.
That's what I was trying to get at. Maybe I didn't say it right. So we're going to multiply the 2, the 5, and the 1/2. Okay? What constant does that give us? If you need to use your calculator, it's fine, but you shouldn't need it because 2 times 5 is 10, and what's half of 10? 5. So put a 5 down. Now this is what you're talking about, Preston. You're right. X squared times x squared is what?
Is it 4?
Not 4 because there's a what exponent on this one? 1. So you do 2 plus 1 plus 2, which gives me 5. And then Allie, what do you think is going to be y to what power, Allie?
8.
Yes, the 8th power because there's a 1 on this one. 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 3 is 8. So that's going to be 5x to the 5th y to the 8th. All right, good. Now, we run into something we've actually already done, but we're going to throw in some extra variables in some cases. We've used the distributive property before, okay? If you got a number outside a parentheses, you multiply everything in the parentheses by that number, okay? Do that. So Evan, thank you, sir. What do you think is going to give me? What is 4 times 3x squared? 12x squared. And what's 4 times 4x? Good, 16x. And what's 4 times negative 8? You pull out that calculator. Say. Negative 32. Yeah, have your calculator out so you can follow. Money, get your calculator. Yeah, right. You need one strip down. So you're just going to distribute. You're going to distribute. Now, when we distribute, though, there can be variables with it. We hadn't done that before. It was always just a constant. It's always a constant times everything. Now, we'll throw some variables in there. So same thing. All right, Jordan, what do you think? 6pq times 2p. What's that going to give me?
So would it be 12p?
Think of it as p times p.
Oh, so like 1.
What do you do to the exponents?
Oh, 1 squared.
Okay, just like here, if you got y cubed, you add the exponents, and so a p times a p will give you p to the second power. Colin?
Minus q to the second power.
Well, one thing I didn't finish, you gotta throw in a q there. So they got 6p q times 2p will give you 12p squared q minus what, Colin?
Q.
Don't forget, you also have to have the 6.
Oh.
And then you also have to have the p. And you also, now you got q squared. You can't drop them. Okay? All right. Hey, let's do another one. There's too many people confused. We're going to take a look at this one. What if I have, all right, put this beside there. What if you have 4x squared y times 3xy minus 7y? All right, put down what you think that is. Put down what you think that is. Just right beside that one. Right beside that one.
Calling a couple people here.
What's that? Oh, you are?
Listen. That's what they got.
Oh.
It's fine.
Thank you.
You yell at kids for being bad at basketball.
What's that?
You yell at kids for being bad at basketball.
Oh my lord. We got, let's see, we're gonna list 3, you call, you get the first one, we'll list 3 answers.
Alright, Alex, go ahead.
12x cubed y to the second minus 27x to the second, and then y to the second.
Okay, that's 1.
Tommy.
Huh?
What you got?
I don't have anything.
Nothing.
He just hanging back.
We gotta try something and let's see where we're going wrong. Alright, Zane?
12x cubed y to the second minus 28x to the second and y to the second.
That's 2 answers.
Sam, do you have the same thing? Is that what you put your hand down? Who's got something different? Who's bold?
Oh.
Preston's bold. Ha!
You can't be bold with that math.
I have 12x to the third y and minus 28xy to the second.
Like that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, you had to say 28, so she's amending her answer.
Yeah.
We get an amendment. So the first and the second one are really the same. All right, so 4 times 3 is 12. X squared times x is x to the third. And then y times y is y squared. So very good. And then it will be 4 times 7, which is 28. You do have to include the x squared, and then it becomes y squared. So Preston, Preston, when you're doing this, you got to think of this as y times y, which will give you 1 plus 1, which is y squared. And the same thing over here. Well, did you do it? You did it with the, somehow you just made it x.
Yeah.
So keep that as x squared because there's no other x here. Y times y gives me y squared. Okay, so that's distributing, giving some coefficients on the outside. All right, this isn't on your guided notes, but just take a look. What do you think the answer is for this? Just looking at it. Something we haven't done before. What in the world? Colin, he's a brave man. All right, what do you think?
I said x squared plus 5.
He says x squared plus 5. All right, we are 0 for 1. We are 0 for 1. That's all right, Jordan.
X squared plus 6.
X squared plus 6. We are 0 for 2. We are 0 for 2. Amanda.
2x plus 6.
2x plus 6. We're 0 for 3. 0 for 3.
5x plus 6.
Where did in the world did you get 5x?
You might as well
It's on
just
the
say
bottom.
something.
5x plus 6. You're cheating. And that's still wrong. And you cheated.
shows it on the bottom.
That's what you said, right?
That's what it says on the bottom.
That's wrong.
Grant, it says.
Sam,
It
literally
says
says 5x.
say that
It
again?
says x2 plus 5x.
Holy cow. That's still wrong.
That's like x3 plus x2. X plus
Jordan.
x plus 6.
No. No.
Oh,
Just say x squared plus
I got it.
x plus 3x.
I got it now.
Rachel.
X squared plus 5x plus 6.
Okay, explain to me how you got that.
I don't know, I just saw it on the paper.
So you cheated.
F-O-I-L.
Cheater.
Foil.
Okay.
Foil. We use the foil method.
Okay, yeah. Foil method. It's like the aluminum foil method. All right, pay attention. Because this is going to go against listen up. This is going to go against some of your like instincts, like how to do that. Because your instinct was just to say x times x is x squared, and then 3 times 2 is 6. And probably 90% of you thought that was correct, which that is going to be your first instinct. But here's how we have to do this. We do, and this is at the bottom of your paper. It is called the FOIL method. This is how we multiply what we call binomial times a binomial. You got to take the x, and you're going to multiply it by the first term over there. This is where we talk about the first terms. And then you take the x times the 2 in the other one. So basically this x has to multiply both pieces of the second one. X times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. Then you move to the 3, and the 3 multiplies the x. We call that the inner. And then the 3 has to multiply the 2. We call it the outer. And so it gives us x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 6. But the 2x and the 3x are like terms. They add together to give you 5x. So that's how you get that final answer.
Basically, you're doing distributive property twice.
Yes, exactly. So, and it's called the FOIL method. You need to know that because teachers are going to say FOIL those together. You got to say, oh, yeah, I know what that is. But you're using the distributive property twice. All right. Is that already written down? Flip it over on the back.
Oh, and let me tell you this. If you guys don't love this already, I'll tell you how important this is. You got to master this because after we master this, we're going to do it backwards. Okay? So it's not going anywhere. All right?
Okay. So here's what I'm going to tell you to do. I think this is the easiest way to do this. Take the first term of the first parentheses, which is the x. It has to multiply both pieces of the second one. Now, when you do the first one, x times x is the f. That is the first terms, and these are the outer because they're on the outside, like they're the closest to the edges. That's how we refer to that. Okay. Well, what is x times x? X times x, Colin.
X squared.
It's x squared. And then what is x times negative 2? Treat it as a negative 2, Colin.
Negative 2x.
Negative 2x. Make sure you put a sign there. Make sure you put a sign there. All right, so we've multiplied the x by both pieces of the other one, right? So now we go to the next one of the first one, which is the 4. We go to the positive 4. And when I multiply that one by the x, those are the inner terms because they're on the inside. Colin, what's 4 times x?
4x.
Plus 4x. Make sure you put a plus 4x. And then you take the 4 times the negative 2 because those are the last terms. Like if you think about, I got 2 terms, that's the second one and the second one. And Zane?
You get negative 8.
Negative 8. And now you take a look and you say, we go back to our rules, do I have anything that can be combined? Any like terms? And usually what you're going to have is the 2 middle terms. If you do this right, the 2 middle terms will be like terms. And you say negative 2 plus 4 is positive 2. Now, don't forget, when you add or subtract like terms, you do not change the exponent. Some of you did that on the quiz. You do not change the exponent. All right, that's going to be the final answer. X squared plus 2x minus 8. We just FOILed them together. You did the distributive property twice, the x times both of them, and the 4 times both of them. As long as we get 2 terms times 2 terms, that is where this FOIL method comes into play. So you take the first one of the first set, the 2y, and I multiply it by the 3y. Those are the first one. What's 2y? All right, make sure we follow this. Hanan, what is 2y times 3y? 6y to the second power. And you need to make sure that usually what's going to happen is the first one needs to have the second power. Now I take 2y times 2. This is the outer terms because they're on the outside edges. And 2y times 2, Morgan, what is that? 4y. What sign should I put down? Positive 4y. And that's going to be important. You can't just slap a 4y in there. You got to have a sign in there. All right, the 2y multiply both of them. Move to the -5. And now I multiply that one by the first one, which is 3y. Those are the inner ones because they're inside. They're the two closest to the middle. Preston, what is -5 times 3y? -15y. And now I take -5 times +2. Those are the last terms of the two. Colin? -10. All right, look that over. We do have some like terms. 6y squared, there's nothing else with the y squared. Colin, what's my final answer? What do you think?
6y squared minus 11y minus 10.
Okay, because 4, positive 4, -15 is -11. Agree. You try number 3. You try number 3. And do not try number 4. Because you'll mess it up, right? Normally, will. So what'd you get for number 3? Make sure -3 times -1. Other than that, that's good. Squared. Is we don't have to straight, so we're gonna do steps down. So you could follow along when we got first here.
Oh, that's it, we matched it. Yeah.
Go one at a time first.
Oh, yeah.
So whatever.
Get 4.
Okay, so far so good. Right, that's right. I get to the last. Yeah. Yes. Those first two values, see that where -4 x squared minus 10x plus 4 inside. All right, 8x squared minus -3 times now you got to combine the two. So yes, yes.
Oh, I got, yeah, but I got 35. Yeah, but I got 37.
Yes.
Should we keep up with your work? We'll see.
All right. Mr. Flu. Yep. Watch your signs. 4x times -1. -4. Then you gotta combine those two middle ones. Rachel, what you get? 90.
Yeah.
Yes, you use that. Hey, add those, -4 minus this. Well, combine. Josh Cofield, what'd you get?
I got 8x to the second power minus subtracted by 10x plus 3.
Okay, good. And I tell you what, most everybody, either we fixed you had a minor mistake we fixed, or you got it right. But that's the answer. 4x times 2x is 8x squared. 4x times -1 is minus 4x. -3 times 2x is minus 6x. Negative times a negative is a +3. These two middle terms give me minus 10x in the middle. Okay, for them. Now I told you to wait on number 4 because this is a little bit of a special case that you got to watch. What does anything mean when it's squared? We've talked about this multiple times. Jordan?
You multiply the variable on the, or the exponent on the outside, all the exponents on the inside.
That won't necessarily work in this case. And I know what you're saying when you have like, that would be like if I just had this. But remember, when something's squared, okay, something's squared, I want to go a little bit further.
I just multiplied them by themselves.
You multiply it by itself. So you have to write this down twice. You have to make this 3x minus 4 times 3x minus 4. If you just square the inside pieces, it'll be wrong.
That's what Colin did.
That's what?
That's what he did.
Oh, he did.
What?
You got to write it like this, which will give you a different answer.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Because anytime something's squared, it means you multiply the whole thing by itself. Now this becomes a problem that we just did. We FOILed it. 3x times 3x is 9x squared. And now you got to take 3x times negative 4, which is minus 12x. Now you got to move to the negative 4 times that 3x, which is minus 12x. And then negative 4 times negative 4, which is positive 16. Negative 12x minus 12x will give me minus 24x plus 16. Plus 16. So you got to watch, because if you just do this, some of you probably just said it's 9x squared plus 16. That's the biggest mistake I get. You forget that middle term. You actually got to FOIL it together. If you don't write it down twice, you will end up missing it.
And here, understand, if you're kind of confused by that, you're saying, well, now you guys are changing the rules on us. We're not. Because look, we expanded this to become these two binomials. Well, all this really is 3x times 3x. Okay? The rules are the same. You have to understand, you're just squaring everything that's inside those parentheses. So here, yeah, I would get 9x squared. So we're not changing the rules on you here.
Right. All right, we've done three cases, and the biggest thing is that you tend to start mesh them together. Take a look at those 3 problems and understand the differences, okay, between them. And let me see if I can explain them. Hold on here. This first one is not a binomial because it's not 2 terms. It's not like 3x squared minus y. Okay, that compares to these 2 down here because they're clearly 2 terms and 2 terms. This is a single term times a single term. This is just a negative 6. Okay, it's not like we're adding or subtracting anything between. So when you have this case here, you just multiply the constants together. You get negative 18. And then you do your exponents, x squared times x to the 4th, which is x to the 6th, y times y cubed, which is y to the 4th, because you would do 1 plus 3. So understand that is a single term times a single term. Okay? The second one, you have a single term on the outside, and you have more than 1 term on the inside. You just distribute that single term on the outside to everything on the inside. Well, what's 4x squared times 5x? It is 20 x to the 3rd. And then what's 4x squared times negative 4? That's going to be minus 16x squared. Now when we come to the last one, we got to use that special method, which we label as FOIL, okay? And you just need to be able to recognize that first, outer, inner, last, but that means I take the first term, the 2x, times both the 3x and the negative 4. All right, Zane, what's the first 2 terms going to be? What's 2x times 3x?
That's 6x.
Like that?
Yeah. Oh wait, no, to the second.
Thank you. And then what will be the next term?
And then negative. Wait. Is it negative 6x? No, it's negative 7x. Yeah.
Where are you getting 7?
Negative 8.
You're gonna take 2x times negative 4,
2 times negative 4.
negative 8x.
It is.
Okay? Sam,
2 times negative 4.
then when I take the 5 times these two terms, what does it give me?
Plus 15.
Okay?
Was he giving me the answer?
Ready, John?
Yep.
Oh, okay, minus 1.
Was Zane giving me the answer? Or he didn't know what he's doing?
I got that too.
Okay, so now once you get to here, these two middle terms should add together to give you plus 7x minus 20.
He wasn't on that step.
Okay,
I thought he was giving the answer.
so those are the 3 things we're doing. Key things, and they're just a little bit different. You gotta be able to decipher between them. All right. 26 to 52 even.
It's never gonna happen.
Make sure you write the original problem down.
Don't get there. No. Launch the truck. That was not launch the truck. Really? The air was.